Alright, we pick this one up on turn 13 because I was trying to go for 5 of a kind gorilla, and you can see one of the strategies for going for all tier 6s is to get Swan and Squirrel early and buy as many cans as possible so that the shop is scaled up, but the effectiveness of that is so weak compared to what it used to be. So really your best bet is to hang on as late as you can, get a level 2 or multiple black cats, and then hope to scale the gorillas with food. So here I roll into another gorilla and another cow, which is great. Next turn I can sell some stuff off and get the second gorilla in, and then Pizza has a much higher chance of hitting one of them. And although Gorilla's ability is so good, the starting stats just aren't up to scratch in terms of, you know, you need to be able to take a hit to benefit from the ability. And a lot of pets like bison and tier 1s that have just been scaled the whole game are going to have much higher, you know, you can see the shop gorilla has 17 attack, and that's even with buying a bunch of and 20 health, even with buying a bunch of cans. So if without melon, it's going to get one shot by most things if you're not facing summons. So here I sell the whole team in order to try and maximize my chances of hitting the gorilla. And I make the comical blunder here of rolling past the milk. I was so keen to find more gorillas that I rolled away the milk. But luckily the shop gives me another cow. And you can see that the speed with which the cat is able to buff up the gorilla stats. And given that we're so late, there's not much time to actually get, you know, enough gorillas scaled up. So really the idea is you have these 2 that are going to be almost max stats, and then throw in 3 more and hope that they can win. So here, although I'm on 9 wins, like normally you would buy the melon, but I'm just going to roll down trying to find more gorillas or more cows. And I think about here selling the cow and getting the pizza. The problem is the gorilla is already on 50 health, so having the you know, buying the pizza, if it hits that gorilla, you're only going to get the attack bonus. So I sell the cow, I find another gorilla. So I decide that if I keep the cat here, I'm in danger of winning. So I'm going to sell the cat and I roll to see if I can get melon. I don't get it. And just for aesthetic reasons, I maneuver them around. I guess also putting the slightly weaker one first maybe reduces my chance of winning. But we go against a team with multiple massive units. No surprise on turn 15. So now I can buy these 2 gorillas, and then I have 1 roll to find another one. And unfortunately, I don't get it. So I keep rolling just in case I get a draw. So turn 16, 4 gorillas, no equipment. You do think the odds are fairly slim of winning. And this snipe team deletes 2 of the gorillas and wastes the coconut on the others. However, their stats are so low that we still win by default, essentially. It's not often you see a almost 50-50 get deleted by skunk and still win. So this one's similar. I've already got 1 gorilla on board. I don't know if I had... I guess judging by the stats of the shop pets, there have been a few cans bought. I don't want to be a broken record, but don't think it's a very viable strategy. And even when you get to the late game, when you've got loads of cats on board. So this time around, I am on lethal, but I decide to pill the turtle before I even get to another gorilla. And here we find another cow, which is great. Although the stats are going to get wasted if so what I do is I freeze the milk in the hope of finding another gorilla on the next turn. I mean, I could have used it there, but it would just, you would only gain attack, and I prefer to try and, maximize it. And we go against the Blowfish Camel Hedgehog team. I had a really painful loss to one of them today. But thankfully this one, I mean, you see how close it is, that they almost win with that extremely low statted team. And we're just going to roll for gorilla and buy another can. And here I get the second gorilla, so I can give it the milk and the melon as well. And still feeling relatively confident. And thankfully we go against this team. I definitely feel like this is a much more common occurrence now, where you go against squads that have no melon at all, even on, turn 14. That was very late to have no melon. And yeah, buy another can. I guess with the level 2 cat, it feels like it's a bit more worth it. I get another cat. So I was thinking, yeah, maybe I should sell cow or sell swan. But instead I just rolled and got another cow. It's always annoying when you see snake, because you feel like you can waste the coconut, but thankfully it worked out perfectly there. And now we get the level 2 milk, which is going to send this gorilla to the moon. Plus 12, plus 24. And keep looking for more gorillas. A lot of the problems, obviously with tier 6s, you've got so little time. Again here, I'm now thinking I should sell cow, buy the second cat, and keep the milk frozen, and look for another gorilla. Because then the milk will be absolutely... I can't even think how much it would be. Am I going to buy the... Yeah, I don't know why I did this, because... Yeah, maybe it's just because I wanted the sort of symmetrical looking team. Yeah, I decided in the end that I wasn't going to find enough gorillas. So I used the milk on the cats, and look at the stats that they got there. Just... absolutely ridiculous. Probably one of the most fun things you can do in the game. And I think, do we draw here? Yeah, we draw. So that makes more sense. I was thinking this doesn't track with what I was expecting in the footage, but I think at this point, I mean, I guess I could have pivoted to go for 5 cats, but the amount of investment into the gorillas at this point is so extreme. So now we get the third gorilla, and because that was only a level 1 cow, it doesn't quite give the crazy amount of stats you would expect. And here am I going to make the mistake? Yeah, I realize that I have to buy the milk first. And then we can sell that cat and get the 4th gorilla in. But obviously it's too late to find the 5th gorilla. And on turn 17, I didn't feel like there was much point in selling the cat. And at this point, I think I already had the quad, the solo, like the four gorilla win in the bag. So there was no point in selling the cat off there. I just increased my chances of winning, and snake once again triggering all the coconut, but the armor at the end blocks the stake hit, and we win with that one. This one, I am going for the strategy of trying to extend the game as long as possible with the badger. So we've got level 2 badger at the back, which has just been buffed up since the start. We'll use the turkey to give the gorilla a little bit of a stat boost. And then it's off to the races with the cat next turn. I don't know why I did this, because I think the turkey... I think I sell the turkey next turn. I don't know. Maybe I should have watched this back. But here we just have enough attack there by 1 extra to kill the bison at the back and get another draw. So Badger doing its job. And here you can buy the gorilla, get the turkey buff, and then sell the turkey. So the stake was kind of a waste. But at the same time, sometimes you just feel like rolling is also a waste. You'd rather increase your chances of winning or drawing that turn. So here we get the pizza, and it unfortunately only hits one of the gorillas. We'll freeze up double sushi and splash that all over the team next turn. Go against a hurt team, which against the coconut shouldn't have much chance, I don't think. No. Even though the badger loses its melon, it doesn't make any difference. So I still need 6 wins, so there's plenty of time to scale these up. I just need good food, good random hits with the sushi and pizza. It wasn't too good there. A lot of it's still going on the badger, which is kind of a waste. And bog standard team where they've got a tier 1 that's been scaled up to infinity, plus bison, plus monkey, plus penguin. What can you do? And now the problem is that one of the best ways to scale with cat is obviously cow. But I feel like if I sell badger here, the game is over. So I think you just have to forego. Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I should combine. Okay, so I do combine. Yeah, I suppose on 6 wins there's still plenty of time to find more gorillas, but generally you never want to combine when you're trying to go for a 5 of a kind. And there we get another gorilla and another cow. So next turn, no, I guess I was okay with wasting that food. I always hate with cat where feeling like cat. I suppose it would probably be too strong if cow didn't overwrite the shop food, because that's the one thing you really have to play around. And here the snake kills the unit behind, but luckily the gorilla's ability activates and results in the coconut saving it from the badger blast. Always fun to see that. So I think I should give the other gorilla melon, yep. And we get another cat. So I think the play here would you put the cat in, yeah, and then buy the apple on one of the gorillas, and then just... I think the apple is much better than the sushi, because the sushi could quite easily hit badger, cat, or any combination of those two, and then it feels like a waste. Whereas with the, especially since one of the cats has to take the brunt of the badger blast, just makes more sense to use the apple, even though it feels counterintuitive. And badger activates the coconut here for the extra overkill on the bee. And turn 17, which is badger is no stranger to turn 17, and unfortunately here we're rolling constantly and getting nothing but apples. But now we get some pears, which are going to upgrade to 2 backline gorillas, and a cow for next turn. Dolphin, always the bane of badger's existence, but I think the badger gorilla stats in the back are good enough that they can still win that round. And I think, yeah, I sell the cat there because I'm on 9 wins. There's no point in trying to get a level 2 cat to increase the value of the milk. In fact, here I make a mistake, because I should not roll. I should buy the gorilla before rolling, because then it increases my chances of finding another gorilla. But then luckily, despite that blunder, and there's been quite a few blunders in this video, I get the second shop gorilla to make up the quad team. and we go into battle with 4 gorillas and a badger. And this is kind of a strange team that's still alive on this late. And they've got 1-up level 3 sheep. And although the coconut got triggered by the splash damage, it got removed as well, and didn't protect the smaller gorilla from the badger. But thankfully the melon on the back gorilla is going to be enough to win that one. So there we go. That is 3 different runs with 4 gorillas. One of these days I will get the 5.